Hello, everyone. Welcome to the PortaOne webinar about new features in PortaSwitch versions 85-88. Your microphones are muted, but please do type your questions in the Q&A window. We will allocate sufficient time at the end of the session to answer your questions. So the webinar today is going to be conducted by me, Mike Kiddick, Product Officer at PortaOne, and my colleague Svetlana, our Project Manager. So we will talk about new features and enhancement, particularly in PortaSwitch. Then we will cover some third-party integrations and some new ways to integrate PortaSwitch with other systems that you have in your ecosystem. We also have a few other products, not just PortaSwitch, which we briefly touch on. And we will also discuss our plans for the near future, what we are going to develop next and which direction we are going to move with our products. So let's start with new features of PortaSwitch. The first one is customer commitments. I think all of you are well aware that a lot of your clients are always looking or always look for a good quality service at a lower price. Yeah, everyone wants to get the same good service, but cheaper than what they are getting right now. Yeah, so they're always looking for discounts, for lower price and things like that. And you are able to offer that. Of course, we have discounts and other options in PortaBilling for quite a while, but we have now a new option. You can offer discounts to your customers for a commitment, in exchange for a commitment, usually a long-term commitment that they will continue using your service. So, for example, if you have a basic triple play package for residential customers and it comes at $20 per month, you can offer the package at $18 per month to the end users, with conditions that they commit to use the service for at least 1 year. Or even lower price at $15 per month if they commit to using the service for 2 years. So we can offer all these options to the customers, and they will choose which options they prefer. Maybe they will go with a list price of $20 without any commitments. Maybe they will choose to commit to a particular period of using the service. If they change their mind along the way, the system can automatically apply a penalty for early cancellation. Basically, the customer will have to repay all provided discounts. So they basically lose all those discounts. Also, by default, when the period of commitment is over, the system automatically starts charging list price, a normal rate of $20 per month. But you can set it up to automatically extend commitment for another term. So if it's a 1-year commitment, you can set up the system to automatically extend it every year. Basically, this is a tool which should increase customer loyalty, or at least reduce the churn among your customers. And of course, your customers will benefit from a better pricing, from discounted pricing for the same service that they are getting. Some other additions for commitments are the following. For example, you can offer a customer to use a more advanced, more expensive package to give it a try, basically, for a limited period of time, while still paying the old price. So while still having a commitment of paying, let's say, $18 per month. That bigger package could be anything. Like, for example, if your basic package is 100 minutes for calls to Europe, the advanced package is probably 500 minutes or 300 minutes for calls to Europe. or it could be an internet access at the highest speed. So basically, basic package comes with, 100 megabit, and you offer them to give a try to a package which comes with a gigabit internet access. So basically, they have the trial for a limited period of time, and at the end of the trial, they have to decide, do they keep the new advanced package and start paying the full price of that advanced package, let's say $30 per month, or do they want to roll back and continue using the basic package that they had before this trial? Another nice option for the end user is the ability to pause the service and also to pause the charges. I know that travel is not that frequent these days as it used to be before the coronavirus pandemic, but still people may go to a summer house if they have one. People sometimes go to visit their parents or some relatives for a couple of weeks, and now they have the ability to pause the service and for certain duration, and the service is resumed automatically, and the charges are resumed automatically when the period is over. Obviously, you don't want your users to abuse it, like pausing it every second day and so on. So you can impose limitations, like the pause can be done only once or twice a year, and the maximum duration of the pause is, let's say, 30 days and things like that. Another option is that you can transfer commitments to another user, or actually your customers can transfer it to another customer. This is a typical scenario for residential services. One option is when your customer is renting an apartment and they are moving out, and there is another person who rents apartment afterwards. So they can transfer the commitment if the new person wants to use the same service, or maybe even to upgrade the service. The commitment may be transferred to the new customer. Another example could be when a house is sold. The same commitment can be transferred from the old house owner to the new house owner. So the service is still provided at the same discounted price to the new owner. All these options are designed to make your service offering more flexible, more attractive for the end users, and basically to keep them with you, or even if the owner of the house changes, the new owner will still use your service. All of you are probably well aware of the collection process available in PortaBilling. We had various tools that you could utilize to motivate your customers to pay invoices in time, or to repay their debts if they have any overdue invoices. But we extended it with a number of different features. So one thing is that we have a new customer status, which is called limited service. And it's something in the middle between the normal state, when the customer receives normal services and is charged normally, and the suspended status. You know that suspended status by design is kind of harsh at the end users, because it basically blocks all services. Also, charging may also stop. And of course, there are ways to allow some services, like to allow free calls while the customer is suspended, but the configuration is quite sophisticated, and it's not easy to set it up. So now we have a much easier way of doing kind of limited service. And when I say limited service, it could be for telephony, it could be something like blocking outgoing calls. For internet access, it could be something like reduced bandwidth. Yeah. So basically, when the customer goes into this state with service limited, bandwidth can be reduced, but the customer will still be charged for the service. So it's like a soft suspension, if you like. As I said, the main idea is that it will encourage customer to pay the overdue invoice and to get back the normal service. We also introduced late payment fee. So if the customer has an overdue invoice, the system can automatically charge a late payment fee for every billing period. So like if there is an overdue invoice for 3 months, there will be 3 charges of the late payment fee. And when that overdue invoice is finally paid, the system can automatically apply a service reactivation fee. And just like we have automatic customer suspension, basically if the customer doesn't pay invoice for a long period, like half a year, you can automatically terminate the customer. In the same way, you can terminate a specific commitment. So you can set it up that some commitments will be terminated if the invoice is overdue for 2 or 3 months, but the other services which are provided outside of that commitment will still be available to the customer. Basically, all this, as I mentioned, all these instruments are designed to, to get customers to pay and to improve the cash flow of the communication service provider. The next one is addition for the external systems provisioning framework. You know that ESPF has been there for quite a while, and people use it to do provisioning into a variety of external systems. Like in some cases, ESPF would do provisioning of new customers into mobile core. Like you have a new subscriber and you need to push all the data into the mobile network for the customer to be able to, to make calls and use internet. Some people use it to provision customers to IPTV platform. So basically to assign a package of channels to subscribers. But it's not only used for provisioning. We have examples when ESPF is used to pass billing information to accounting or to external systems, pretty much accounting systems like QuickBooks or Pastel. So basically, when a new invoice is generated, all invoice totals and all the numbers are automatically sent to that external platform. So when you build such an integration, or when you enable such an integration between portability and some third-party applications, quite often it doesn't work instantly. There are some misconfigurations that need to be handled, taken care of. There are maybe some other issues. So basically, the troubleshooting now is much simpler for such cases. Because now you have the web interface, which shows a list of events that happened in portability that were handled by ESPF. You can filter those events. You can separately see those events that were successfully processed and those events that were failed. The processing failed. Some errors were produced. And for each event, you can also check the log on the web interface. Like, okay, so this is the event that this new customer was created. The system connected to, let's say, mobile core and passed the SIM card information, the mobile number, and all this data to the mobile core. And this is the errors that mobile core returned because it failed to provision the new subscriber. Or a new invoice is generated, another event. You can see that, okay, such and such data about the invoice was sent to external system, let's say to QuickBooks. And this is the reply that was received from QuickBooks. So all that information is now available on the web interface. Moreover, if you have an external system which uses PortaBilling API for provisioning of customers into PortaBilling. So let's say you use CRM like HubSpot that Svetlana mentioned. You have a successful sale, you have a new customer, and from HubSpot, information is pushed to PortaBilling through the API, maybe through our iPaaS workflows that Svetlana is going to speak about, or some other options. And then PortaBilling does this provisioning to some external systems. Your CRM platform can check the status of that provisioning through the API. So when a new subscriber has to be provisioned on a mobile core, your customer service representatives who works exclusively with CRM interface, they can see on the web interface that, okay, this information was pushed to PortaBilling, it was pushed to the mobile core, and your CRM can extract the status of that provisioning and show it to the customer service representative. And if for some reason provisioning of the new mobile subscriber failed, they can immediately get in contact with colleagues and try to resolve the issue, try to fix whatever is wrong, and re-provision again. There is a button to make another attempt to re-provision the same event, to make another attempt to re-provision the same event. So basically, altogether, this web interface should reduce the time and effort spent on troubleshooting integrations with third-party applications. The next topic is going to be covered by Svetlana, so I'm going to pass the microphone to her.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I'll continue the presentation, and our next topic is about generation of mobile accounts. Now, administrator can generate batches of mobile accounts via the account generator. Each account in a batch is assigned a mobile number and a SIM card. The first benefit that we have here is the feature. This feature really saves administrator time, because previously they had to create accounts and assign SIM cards manually. And the next benefit is this feature enables mobile operator to involve distributors in selling ready-to-use SIM cards to a larger number of end users. For example, your administrator can generate 1 million accounts once and allocate them to distributors in the same way as for prepaid cards. Once a batch of accounts is generated, the account's data is automatically provisioned to the host mobile network, HSS or PCRF. So this feature reduces administrator manual work and enables mobile operator to extend their sales network by selling SIM cards through distributors. And let's move to our next topic. With new release, PortaSwitch supports transcoding for the Opus codec. This is an open and royalty-free audio codec for smartphone apps, and it's one of the standard WebRTC codec. This codec allows the delivery of good quality sound even over a poor internet connection. For example, if a customer is using a browser to make a call in a hotel with low quality Wi-Fi. With the hotel example, PortaSwitch receives a media stream in Opus to ensure quality, and PortaSwitch will convert the media from Opus into G729 to allow it to go to the vendor and back without any added costs, good sound quality, and codec compatibility on the VoIP vendor side. And we are going to our next part, is about third-party integration that we have done in newest releases. And the first topic is payment system via iPaaS. As you know, PortaOne iPaaS is our new cloud service designed to speed up development and deployment process for new add-ons that connect PortaBilling or PortaSIP with external systems. One of these add-ons is payment processors. To enable a new payment processor, you don't need to update your system to new releases. If you run PortaSwitch MR87 or higher, you can start using new payment processor via iPaaS. You need just to subscribe to PortaOne iPaaS, and this functionality will be activated for you within just 10 minutes. For version MR55 to MR86, the full integration process might take up to 2 weeks. So the integration will be much faster than a full system update. Starting with MR87, Stripe payment processor is available to all PortaOne iPaaS subscribers, and can be activated within just a few days. It provides a simple and transparent fee structure and supports token-based payments. You can start to accept online payments right away and allow your customers to set up auto payments. Let's move further, and our next integration is ticketing via Zendesk. You can now use Zendesk as a support ticketing system. It's an alternative to the RT ticketing system. Customer support agent can now track and process customer requests using all the advantages of Zendesk. To give more Zendesk capabilities to support agents, service providers can install an application for portability on Zendesk. This application is designed to display the subset of customer data from portability in Zendesk web interface. The application allows support agent to manage all scenes in one place, no switching between systems, and quickly open a customer record in portability via link in Zendesk. And what benefits do we have here? Better user experience for support agents via Zendesk as a ticketing system, and instant access to portability and customer records for support agents and to Zendesk tickets for portability and administrator. And whatever future plans. With future version of Zendesk application for portability, support agents will be able to solve the most common queries via Zendesk. So service provider can reduce the time and the expenses spent on support operation. And please contact your CSM to assist with creating and activating your Zendesk account to ensure the integration work properly. And let's move further. And our next topic, portability is integrated with Microsoft Active Directory. It's a service that enables you to manage users within the entire infrastructure from a single location. An Active Directory administrator can create, block, or delete user records, manage their details, and provide access to all corporate resources. For example, Microsoft SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, or some CRM. Active Directory administrator can quickly enable access to new employees and block access to all corporate resources when somebody, for example, leaves the company. So this helps to avoid human mistakes when an administrator can forget to remove someone. And as a result, it improves infrastructure security. So let's sum up. Integration with the Microsoft Active Directory allows service provider to enable user to access their corporate resources with a single set of credentials, and to manage portability and user with a centralized users register. And our next topic is iPaaS workflows. PortaOne iPaaS includes an easy-to-use visual integration platform that can connect the components of your existing technology stack, such as CRM, accounting, customer engagement, e-commerce platforms, and portability. It's powered by Boomi, Dell Technologies iPaaS integration platform. Previously, when a new system such as CRM was deployed, your developers had to write an actual code for each system to connect to API, to test events, etc. As number of system grows, adding every new system becomes more and more complex. And now it's much easier with iPaaS workflows. Boomi acts as integration bus. You need only one connector for every new system, no matter how many you already use. And what is more, Boomi's connector catalog consists of hundreds of popular apps. You can actually integrate all of them with portability. And the best thing here is that integration is done through a visual configuration rather than writing a code. You don't need a developer to integrate a new system. Basic understanding of workflow and data mapping across system is actually enough. Recently, we held this webinar with a real-time demonstration of how to integrate portability with HubSpot CRM and a zero accounting system, and you can find it on our website. The demonstration was only one of many examples of integration you can create to simplify your business processes easily with minor integration efforts and in a matter of hours. And we are going to our next part about other products that we have. And let's start with a quick overview of a WebRTC model for PortaSwitch. This model is available via iPaaS. This new solution enables subscribers to send and receive audio and video peer-to-peer calls using only a web browser on the computer. If you run PortaSwitch MR85 or higher, you can start using the WebRTC model via iPaaS. Just subscribe to Porta1 iPaaS and this model will be activated for you within just a few hours. It's a good alternative for your clients to use web application instead of regular IP Centrex form. To log in into the WebRTC model, we will only need the phone number, and the system takes care about verification of the user by sending a one-time password. And let's see our WebRTC model actually in action. Okay. This is a screen of WebRTC solution. I have made some test calls here. And as you can see, call recording is available. I can listen to it or download it. And when I am clicking on the Contacts tab, I will see all my contacts inside IP Centrex. And if I want to see some detailed information about selected person, I can just click on it and see. And let's make a live demo. I will call to one of my colleagues. Let's try. Oh, I have forgotten to disable my camera. Okay, maybe he's unavailable. Let's try again to do that. Yuri, where are you? Hi, Yuri. You are in a live demo. Thank you for this call. Bye. And this was a call inside my IP Centrex, but of course I can call to any external number using this numpad. And let's go back to our presentation. Okay. And our next topic about self-care portals via iPaaS.
You need to turn on the camera again.
Okay. Okay. We see the need for creating more customized portals for specific business models and customer types. We are developing them by ourselves together with our partners. These portals will be run via iPaaS because it's a fast and easy way to connect new self-care portals customized to your specific needs. We have already created a test portal for SIP trunking. You can find the webinar recording on our website. And now we are working on the IP Centrex portal. You have a chance to participate in this process. Tell us about the challenges that you are solving right now. Share your prototypes with us and actually influence the design of it. To ensure you will get the portal that fits your needs, please contact Mike to share your ideas with us. Okay, thank you. I'm stopping sharing.
Thank you, Svetlana. Okay, let me continue. So here goes nothing. You should see my screen now. And the next topic is PortaBI. So we announced PortaBI, a business intelligence tool, during our previous webcast back in spring, during the, I would say, the early days of coronavirus pandemic. Nonetheless, that was a start of a new product. And we continued developing it. So after that initial version 1.0 was released, we've gone as far as 1.5. The latest edition, the most interesting edition, so a lot of features were added, but the most interesting ones are, we have a report which allows you to see a true profitability of specific product. And I'm talking about complex products here. Products that include multiple services, products that comes at a monthly fee, and it has a quota for various services, like, I don't know, 100 minutes for calls to Europe, I don't know, 5 gigabytes of internet and things like that. Yeah. So when you have a quota in the product, obviously all charges in the CDRs appear as zero charged, and sometimes it's quite difficult to calculate the profitability of the product. At least a few customers complained to me about that in the past. So now with PortaBI, you can have a look at any products that you have, and you can see basically, are we really making money on that product? How much is the profit is, and things like that. So that is one recent addition to the PortaBI, and as I said, that's for each individual product. That information can be checked. But the other feature is that for any business parameter, I don't know, the revenues that your company gets in general, for profit on particular product, or a good example would be service consumption by your, let's say, 10 top customers. Yeah. Basically, for any of these vital business parameters, you can set up a threshold, and you can tell the system to monitor that parameter. And whenever the threshold is crossed, the system can send a real-time alert to you, and you would immediately know that, you know what, something is wrong, something is happening with your top 10 customers, and their consumption, their usage has decreased. So you can immediately take action. Basically, PortaBI is a tool to make more informed decisions about your business. And particularly the new report about the product is designed to prevent losses. So you can take out any products if they are not making enough money, or if you're losing money on those products. Now, let's speak about what our plans are for the future. I'll start with a current status of things. We have just released a new leap forward release, literally last week. MR88 went out, and the new features guide is already available on our website. You can check it out for what new features were introduced there. The current long life release is MR85, obviously. Our plans are to release another leap forward maintenance release 89 before Christmas on December 4th. And then another long life supported release is planned for January. What are we going to develop next? What are our immediate plans? The first point is we have a number of new IP Centrex features in a pipeline. Some of them are being already developed, implemented. Some of them are being discussed and designed. So they are at different stages. There is a list of probably 10 different features for IP Centrex. The most interesting ones I'll name, that would be login and logout from hunt groups, typically used in call center environment when agents come and leave, they work in shifts. Another feature that is going to be introduced is call supervision. So basically for a supervisor, again, typically within call centers, it will be possible to spy on the call, as it's called. Yeah, so basically connect to the call without being detected by participants, to whisper to a colleague, and to barge into the call if things go not according to the plans, within the call. So barging in and login, log out from hand groups are among those new features that we are going to introduce. Another thing is there is a regulation in the European Union called Secure Customer Authentication. It is related to online payments. So basically, that regulation dictates that customers go through some additional means of authentication before the online payment is approved. The first payment system we're going to introduce support of SCA is going to be Stripe, that Svetlana mentioned. And the reason is obvious, because once we introduce SCA support for Stripe, it pretty much instantly, this new version of integration with Stripe, pretty much instantly becomes available to all iPass subscribers. We don't have to go through the lengthy process of getting customer installations updated to the most recent version. So Stripe is going to be the first one, but of course we will look through other platforms, especially those payment processors that are popular in the European Union. And we will add SCA support for those payment processors as well. Stir and shaking, that's another regulation, but in the United States, basically designed to prevent unauthorized calls or calls from anonymous sources, or calls where caller ID is spoofed. So basically, we are in the final stages of developing a solution for stir shaking. And it's going to be released in MR89, as I mentioned, in December. Dual version is mentioned here as well. Dual version, and this is, again, this is about dual version solution 2.0, the new dual version. It's already implemented. The software has been developed, tested, even tried on a few occasions, so the software is ready. But the solutions that we have for migrating through the dual version from the old release to a new release, it's not only about the technology, it's not only about the technical solution, it's also about a proper execution of the project of migrating from old version to a new version. So we've introduced a new kind of projects within PortaOne, which is basically pre-migration analysis. We already conducted 3 such projects for our customers. And one of the customers has already started the migration from MR55, I believe, to one of the recent versions, I believe MR80. And 2 other projects are just waiting to be started on a specific date, on a scheduled date. So if you're considering to update your version, especially if you're running one of those older versions like MR85, and you're considering to do the upgrade not in the traditional way with a lot of sequential updates, but through dual version, now is a good time to start discussing it and to book time for this pre-migration analysis. Currently, we are accepting this request, and we are scheduling this pre-migration analysis projects for December. So please contact your customer support manager or sales to get this project running. And of course, your feature request, as usual, is a main source of new features that we introduced in PortaSwitch. So if you have any business need, if you're starting new service or you're starting maybe even a new business, please do get in contact with us, and we'll be happy to work with you on introducing new functionality. This was a traditional part where we discussed, where I basically mentioned all the trade shows and all exhibitions where PortaOne participates. But with current state of things, with coronavirus, basically all events are postponed until 2021. So unfortunately, there are no chances to meet face to face. Well, there are talks and discussions about GITEX in December, but still the probability of it happening, I would say, are rather low. But what we started to do more, as you've already heard during this webinar, Svetlana mentioned a few times, is that we had a webinar dedicated to iPaaS workflows. We had a webinar dedicated to new self-care portals and so on and so on. So we started to conduct more webinars where we can, present something to our customers, get questions, collect feedback, and move to the next development stages. So please do follow our online webinars. We usually announce them in our newsletters. So if by any chance you are not subscribed to our newsletters, please do it right now. You can go to our website, and there is basically a link to subscribe to our newsletter. So you can stay abreast of all the news, all the developments that are happening within PortaBI. Another thing which I would like to mention during this webinar are your customer success managers. Please, if you have any, need any new services being discussed, or you plan to launch a new service, if you have any other projects with new things which require new features, new functionality, new developments, new solutions, please do get in contact with your customer success manager just to share the information, and then we will try to do our best to assist you with those projects. And another point is that we did 2 weeks ago, we sent out a very simple and basic survey where we asked our customers to provide feedback, like what are the areas that require the improvement the most? What are the business needs that require immediate attention? If you haven't replied to that survey by any chance, please make sure to do that in this, let's say, in the next couple of days, so we do get your feedback and we know where to move next. This is very helpful, especially for myself as a product officer, to understand what are the immediate needs of our customers. That's it for today. That's all we have to present today in our webinar. This is the time when we will start answering your questions. So let me open the Q&A panel. Just a second. Okay, we have quite a number of questions. And I also saw that some people typed their questions into the chat box. So let me start by checking the chat box, because it's more difficult to track questions in chat rather than in Q&A. So there was one question about PCI compliance of payment processors. Well, the good news is that payment processors like Stripe, they do support token-based payments. So there is Authorize.net, there is Stripe, and there was one more payment processor available with PortaBilling. I forgot which one. I can look it up later. But basically, those payment processors that support token-based payments, you don't, if you work with one of those payment processors, you don't store, or PortaBilling doesn't store the credit card information inside of PortaBilling. The credit card is actually stored on the side of payment processor, and then PCI compliance is the responsibility of the payment processor. PortaBilling only stores a token, and it uses that token to do recurring payment or recurring charges to the credit card. So there is no need for your PortaSwitch to be PCI compliant in that case. And as I mentioned, we will introduce support for SCA, for secure customer authentication, within the next, within the next few months. There was a traditional question about whether the recording of this webinar is going to be available. And yes, for every webinar that we conduct, we always publish the recording on our website. So please check within a week, the recording will be available on the website. So please check the website later on. There is another question about integration with Microsoft Active Directory. Basically, the question is not as much about that integration, but about generic support of LDAP services. For now, the integration has only been conducted with Microsoft Active Directory. It uses specific Microsoft API to synchronize the data about the users in Active Directory and PortaSwitch. So currently, that's the only platform that is supported. However, in the future, we may add other LDAP solutions, to be integrated with Portability. So if you have a particular LDAP solution in mind, please do contact us, and we will work with you on that project. There was a question about the WebRTC solution. Svetlana, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, the question regarding API, for example, actually WebRTC model can be licensed as an SDK, so you can develop your own application, and you please contact your CSM to discuss the project.
Mm-hmm. But generally, WebRTC can be invoked from any third-party applications. There is another question about call status. I'm not sure I understand that question. Like, if it's possible to see the call status while making a call from the web browser. But
right now we see the status.
I thought that's what Svetlana demonstrated. I mean, while we were waiting for Yuri to answer the call, we could see that the call is being initiated and it's ringing. But we were waiting for the call to be answered. Yeah, it was shown on the web interface. Yes, it is available. Let me see what other questions we have here. There was a question about finding a specific connector in the Boomi system. Svetlana, was it covered during the webinar about iPaaS workflows in Boomi?
You can do this via our iPaaS workflows, so you need to contact us.
Yeah, okay. So basically, you can watch the webinar where basically we used some connectors to do this connection to HubSpot and Xero. You can watch this webinar as well. If you're still having issues, please contact us, and we'll allocate the proper person to assist you with getting the right connector available. And there is just one more question.
Yeah, there is a question about bulk call recording, to download several recordings at the same time.
Okay.
You can contact Mike and share your user stories, and we can cover this with new IP Centrex portal, for example.
Yeah, so WebRTC that you saw, I think that question was more about WebRTC solution, like which presented a history of calls with a list of
but it's cool. It's
call
a tool for
calls and call
to call each other.
Yeah. I understand that, but I mean, if the user, so this is the initial version of our WebRTC solution. Now, obviously, it can be extended in multiple ways, and more features can be added. So on WebRTC interface, yes, this can be added to do the bulk download. That is one side. Another side is the self-care portal for IP Centrex users that Svetlana mentioned, which is being designed as we speak. Yeah, there is an ongoing project, and we've already conducted a couple of interviews with our customers. So if your interest is more about downloading bulk download of call recordings on the self-care portal, please do contact me, and we will discuss it, and we will describes the scenario when and how users need to download those recordings and how to make it secure, obviously. And then, we can introduce it in the new self-care portal. And then the last question is about PortaBI. The question is basically a way to analyze TDRs, to have the call statistic, basically, to get the call statistics with various splits, filters, and so on. And yes, that's exactly what PortaBI does. You can do the analysis for specific customer. You can do the analysis for a group of customers, like customer class. You can do you can check usage for a single particular customer or for all your customers together. So it has a bunch of filters, various ways to present the information, and moreover, you can design your own report. So you don't have to stick with whatever we develop for you within PortaBI. There is a visual designer inside of PortaBI where you can build your own reports, and you can present the data that you are extracting in various multiple ways. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, I think we were done for today. Thank you very much for your attention. If you need the recording, as I mentioned, please do check within a week. It should be published on the website by that time. It was a pleasure as usual. So have a great evening or have a great morning, depending on where you are on this planet. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.